This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/AwesomeCast.
I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said now. I'm getting awesome, you're getting awesome, we're getting awesome, yeah, that's what I said. Nightmares, I don't care, I love it.
It's time to get geeky, get awesome. It is the AwesomeCast. I'm Mike Sorg at Sorgatron on Twitter here in the Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, ready to get awesome for the final time live of 2021. Do not worry, we do have two very special episodes in the can. We'll tell you about them at the end of the show for the next 2 weeks, so you will not be without AwesomeCast. It'll just be a little bit different, as we like to do here, for giving us a little bit of a breather so we can head into the new year with some extra energy and renewal, and maybe work on a couple of things that, we just kind of roll through for the year. But first of all, with us, getting geared up for that new year is from Studio C in the Big D of Dormont, PA. He is a big bank international Esquire technical guru of some sort that we have yet to be determined actually entirely all the aspects of the things and minutiae of his job after all these years. He is John Chilla.
I thought you were going to stop there for a minute and just say he is a bank.
Yes, he is the bank. It's actually kind of funny.
He is a big bank.
Well, it's kind of funny because you remember Malango that's been on the show. When we worked with him, we knew his dad worked for Dollar General, or not Dollar General. That's something different. Dollar Bank, and we were just like, we always just said like his dad owns the bank for some reason. It was I don't know why, but it was just like, oh yeah, he owns the bank. I was like, no, he doesn't. He just works there. Anyways,
he is the bank.
He is the bank. He has the essence of the bank. Also with a social media guru and presider of a Jag-Off parade this past weekend, I understand. If I recall, the Dutters is with us.
Yes, I was a part of the Jag-Off fake holiday parade, to the point where I was the person that was in charge of getting Santa John, like the Pittsburgh Santa, from the Heinz History Center to the parade, and safely back from the parade to the Heinz History Center.
Nice.
Talk about big responsibility.
Nice. We both have had big Santa responsibilities the last few weeks, haven't we? So yes. Love it. Good to have you back on here. I know it's a surprise because something else canceled that you had going on.
Thanks, COVID, for canceling concerts.
Again. This was a reschedule from before COVID in general, wasn't it?
I don't even remember anymore. Is it sad?
I don't know how many years ago I bought these tickets.
I remember at this point, but I think this might have been the original. Was the December date, and then now it's I think it's in January now.
Oh, whatever.
It's Evanescence, and a few of the band members have COVID. They're all doing well.
We had major changes over the weekend at some wrestling shows over COVID as well. So I mean, it happens. It's just kind of what we have to deal with right now, right? But also back with us, he is also insert title here at Big Bank International Esquire. He is Ron Krause.
How you doing? I always say I might work for a bank, but they don't let me play with the money.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I gave all my super title energy to Chilla. I didn't have anything left for you.
That's okay, and he deserves it also.
Good. You gave it getting geared up for the holidays here.
Heck yeah. Can't wait. I'm looking forward to time off at the end of the year. What's
Yes.
not to love?
I really, for me, I'm going to get through this weekend and then start thinking about the holidays. Is where I'm at. So if anybody has any good gift ideas during this episode, that'd probably be really helpful for me. Anyways, and also with us back again of the iPhoneography podcast and the best looking Twitter and Instagram feed because he's playing with his new iPhone 13. Dave Podnar back with us once again.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sorg. And to keep with the Santa theme, this past weekend there was a whole bunch of Santas I was around going up at Boyce Park.
Nice.
For the Sweaty
Nice.
Santa. Sweaty Santa
Sweaty
is going
Santa?
for the well, it was the Santa Run 5K.
Mm-hmm.
So there were various Santas running around Boyce Park on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Quite
That's
enjoyable with all the Santas.
That's awesome. All right. Well, anyways, everybody, for the final time, let's get through this. You can check out everything at awesomecast.com, which doesn't work right now. I thought I fixed it a week ago, but that did not go through my registrar. In the meantime, you go to awesomecast.fireside.fm. That is going to be the new website because I broke WordPress. A day after we had a WordPress episode recording, I broke WordPress because I'm like, oh, I should probably update some things. It's been a while. And then I broke it, and I'm just done with it. Anyways, but you can either way, the subscription still works. Subscribe to us on all your podcast feeds. And, of course, hit us up at AwesomeCast at SorgatronMedia.com. It is up on the Facebook page and group. You can hit us up on the Reddit, the Discord. There's a link to the Discord on our podcast page, awesomecast.fireside.fm, and eventually awesomecast.com will start working again as soon as I get to that. Also, like I say, the Facebook, the YouTube page, and of course, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter for AwesomeCast, and over on the Sorgatron Media Twitch page, and we do have chat rooms up for those. Everything, because I don't think Twitter has a chat, but please respond along on the podcast feed. We do appreciate any feedback that you do have going on. And also thank you to our Patreon supporters. Patreon.com/awesomecast. Yeah, our friends over there, Matt Weller, John DeGore, John Carmen, Cynthia Kloski, Scott McTaggart, and Mike Pound. At the fan show level, Michael Fedor, Professor Buzzkill, and Dave Ponder. Thank you, everybody who has been supporting us over the year, over 2021, and sticking with us through all the crazy lockdowns and everything going on as well to keep the AwesomeCast alive through all of this. Again, you guys can support the show too at patreon.com/awesomecast. Let's get into we like to do two things. One, predictions for the next year. Look at how we got everything completely correct for this past year. But first, we get to our awesome thing of the year. Who would like to go first? Crickets.
Ladies first, Sorg.
That's right. Dutters, what is your thing of the year?
I like how you're all throwing me to the wolves now.
I have to go
My-
after you, so
Oh, perfect. Oh, yeah. So essentially, the awesome thing of the year was every item. This I'm going for awesome thing of this year and for 2020 is every single item that we bought because we saw a video on TikTok. And this was your must-have. This was your life hack. This is the thing that'll make your rentable apartment look better and more like a livable actual home. Every single thing that we've all bought, and we watched a video and immediately went over to Amazon to find and order this year.
This is so I have not. So what kinds of things? Because I have not. I just started as we talked about. I've just started getting into the TikTokiness.
Oh gosh, thinking a few of the items around my home. There's the paper towel thing that goes underneath the cabinets, so it takes up less space on your counter. I got one of those. At one point, I did have the magnets where you put the spice, essentially the spice rack on the side of your refrigerator, but that did not work for us. So thank you, Amazon, for letting us return those. What else? I'm trying to look around and see all the ridiculous things that I feel like we bought this year that were just must-have items because the internet told me it would make my life better. Actually, TikTok. People on TikTok told me it would make my life better.
Love it, love it, and also educational too, right? We talked about like this, how you were learning things off of TikTok in these little kind of tight bite-sized info videos going on there, right?
Oh gosh, yeah. There's more things I have learned about true crime, just what's going on in the world, and just like even like sports like it's been across like the board of just the amazing things, medical things I've learned. Like this is amazing.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
yes, thank you TikTok for teaching me things and telling me to buy things.
The interesting thing coming off the TikTok is, I think we've covered it on this show before, is applications, and I think one of them is called beacons, like the ones that let you do like your link tree, where you can put links to all of your different social sites. But the one thing I've noticed too on TikTok is a lot of people are not only linking to their other social sites, they're linking to their promo and discount codes for the stuff that they're covering. So not only is it easy to find what they're talking about, which to me was an early on problem with TikTok and people covering those types of products. I found myself rewinding to figure out like what the make, model, or product exactly was, so then I could go search for it. Now, and I've followed like a lot of custom PC, custom lighting, all that kind of stuff. But there's now sites dedicated to, here's this inventory of stuff I've covered, and here's all of the links, and here's my discount code for XYZ site, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree, John. That I've seen that myself. Somebody says, "Oh, look at this 365 gadgets for the year," and that's literally all this one channel does. And every day they have something, but you can click on their link, and it takes you right to where all the items are listed. And you're like, "Oh, that's the one," and it makes it really quick and easy.
It's awesome. Chilla, what's your awesome thing?
My awesome thing is Amazon for enabling the draining of my wallet based on Dutter's item there. And one of the things that the colo lights, which were covered on someone's kind of home streaming setup, that I put in the link there.
I think we talked about these earlier in the year, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, and I think I'm on my 1, 2. I just ordered my third set.
He just looked around his room when he counted that, by the way.
The other thing that I'm just starting to get into, I don't know if you've noticed it. We may have talked about it on the show, and now I'm going to have to Google it to put a link in there. There's a company called Highmounts. Have you seen these? And give me 1 second, because I'm going to.
I don't think I have.
Link. I actually found these also. It was someone's gaming setup. If you go to that link,
I think I got it here. I found hideitmounts.com.
Yeah, Mounts makes a plethora of different mounts for your wall. A lot of it is tech based, but you can actually get like cable boxes, Xbox mounts, Switch mounts. They allow you to either nicely display your equipment without having to use shelf space, or make it where, if you notice that one TV there on the left has a Wii mounted behind it, the 2009. So a lot of people were originally using it to hide an Apple TV or hide a Wii or hide a different gaming system actually behind their mounted TV. Now it's kind of switched into, let me show off all of my tech kit, but not have to use shelf space. So it's all mounted on the wall. I've seen some pretty cool ones too, where they actually LED light the wire runs. So it's not always easy to hide a wire run, but if you light them up in pretty colorful LEDs, it makes it look way cooler. So I think this is one of the things that I'm going to be working on this year, is hopefully I wrap up some of the office stuff that I'm doing.
Well,
with the lighting, but kind of switch into, hey, let's see how cool I can make the wall look around my TV.
Well, Chilla, as you know, we're at the first of the year involved in restructuring the studio here at Sorgatron Media, and I just sent this to wife of the show as part of those endeavors, because I know she's really big on everything needs to be cleaner than you do it, and, kind of thing, and hiding wires and things like that. So I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of a concentration as we do that kind of thing. So what's that?
And I think these are made by them too. They're controller mounts, and you can nicely display your controllers. It makes it kind of look cool, but also gives you somewhere to put all those controllers.
What's that screen behind you? It looks like above your Tony Stark heart.
That is who makes that? Divmo. Yet another TikTok purchase.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, bless you.
He's just pulling equipment out of the corner. What's it called?
It's a pixel art screen, and it's actually hooked up to Wi-Fi. You can actually post any kind of pixel art you want up there, or you can have it display current temperature outside. The one thing I'm trying to get it to work with is you can actually alert it to you when you get any notifications on social media. So if you're mentioned in a tweet, it'll throw a Twitter logo up there, or Instagram, it'll show the Instagram logo, stuff like that. They make a number of different things. They do pixel art devices. They do Bluetooth speakers that have kind of a small, I think it's 16 by 16 pixel. I actually want to swap that out, to be quite honest with you, with an iPad mount, because I think I can get a little more utility out of a better screen. I played around with it for a while, and I like it. It's pretty cool, but I think I want to move it somewhere else from a informational.
Yeah, it needs to
screen
be, needs to be in your
turn
sight
that
line.
into turn that more into a, hey, I can throw a bunch of art up there, or throw something else up there.
Excellent. So let's go down the line here, Krause. What is your awesome thing of the year?
Well, of the year, I would have to say it's the Apple Watch.
Okay.
Everybody knows that at the beginning of the year, I set a goal for myself. Actually, it was probably right around this time last year. I started talking to the wife about, hey, I'm starting to get a little too heavy, and I'm having trouble going up steps and stuff. And so started January 4th on this journey, and I bought the Apple Watch a month or so into the journey, and it's really helped me a lot.
Nice.
I've lost I've lost at least 95 pounds, although my wife says I lost more than that, because when I started, literally my scale could not weigh me. So all I can tell you is I was over 400, and now I'm not.
Wow.
So,
congratulations.
Thank you very much. And it's not easy. I've closed the rings every day for I forget how many days. It's like 290 some. I'm coming up to 300 days of closing my 3 rings every day, and it's helped motivate me, and it's helped keep me on track. And
good.
And I'm not done. I wanted to lose. I told myself I wanted to lose 100 pounds by Christmas, and so I've probably have met that goal. But I still would like to keep going. I would actually, if I could even lose another 50, I think I would be pretty happy. So we'll see what happens.
That's awesome. And by the way, and I see this noted, this is only a Series 3 that you have. You don't have the bells and whistles. 3. Yeah. So
no, I'm cheap. I tell people that all the time.
Yeah.
My problem was when I decided to buy the Apple Watch, because it was I'd gone through the whole Fitbit thing, and I own 2 or 3 different Fitbits, and it never failed. 3 to 6 months in, they would just stop working for whatever reason.
Yep, that was Missy's.
And my wife
that was Missy too.
Had the OG Apple Watch, and literally we got rid of it when the face popped off because the battery finally swelled.
Yep.
And that thing just worked every single day, and that's what led me down the road of what I think I'm gonna
Love
buy
it.
the Apple Watch, and here we are almost 300 days later, and it's still going strong. So
All right, that do-
that's my thing of the year.
So first of all, can you please friend me on your Apple Fitness? Because I could use some
Sure.
I could use some extra motivation. I've had a bad month when it comes to that, and try to get on things today. But no, please. I need somebody else. I need somebody else who's like going at it on Apple Watch to help me go at it on Apple Watch. Damn it, that's awesome. That's really awesome. I realize I don't think I've seen you in person in almost 2 years.
Yeah,
So I have no idea that this
it's
happened.
been
Like
a long time.
I read that and I'm like, when? So it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I haven't seen you in person in almost 2 years. Jeez.
It's
That's
crazy
wild.
to think about, but that's how it goes.
And Chilla, I see you added a note to his awesome thing. You want to share that with him?
Yeah, I thought these were pretty cool. So, and we need to become friends on the watch too, because I
We
need
all
to get
do.
a little better motivated.
We all
And
just need
the
an
funny
awesome
part
group.
is, I have friend a couple people, and they close their rings before I get up in the morning, and that's not motivating.
And also, we
but no,
should know, we should all friend Podnar your Apple Watch too, right?
Oh, most definitely, yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you don't close your rings before 6 a.m., do you?
Not this time of year, but on the weekend,
Yeah,
I'll probably close them before 8 or 9 on a morning run.
this is where I want to
Okay.
point out all the
Well, morning
medals.
run.
I want to point out all the medals behind him over there for
No,
running.
Hold on, let me.
So I don't. Once
Yeah.
again, I don't know
Yeah,
if it's
my,
going to be.
my 2021 finisher medal 3.
Mhm.
Wow.
And Dave, you had a pretty good weight loss story too, right? If I recall.
Yeah.
So-
Right around 9 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
when I was getting close to 39, very very similar to Krause, where me going from the bottom floor at work to just walking up one flight of steps, and I was starting to get a little short of breath,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
I have family history of heart disease and people dying in their 50s. And it's like, okay, I got to do something about it. And I started to walk at lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started to run and jog because I was like, oh, I can go a little bit faster. Then I started to do the running, and then to keep me motivated, that's when I started to do the races.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So yeah, I went from when I started, and I remember when I started because it was right around the second. It was the Super Bowl the Steelers lost. That's how long ago it was. And I went from 270 down to around 180, bounced up and stayed steady around 195, which was, even though officially obese, screw
bad.
you BMI. But I was happy with that. Then I've had issues over the last couple of years and bounced back a little bit more. So hopefully now that I'm 100% recovered from COVID, 100% recovered from a broken ankle, I'm going to have to really get back on it because spring racing comes.
Yes. Well, I want to get to your awesome thing real quick, but as we're going, Chilla, you had one quick thing to add to this, right?
So I don't know, and I just saw this today, and I thought this would be kind of cool as like a stocking stuffer, someone that you know or close enough with that, you know what activity awards they're getting. There's a third-party company, activityawards.com, that actually makes like magnets based on the different activity award pin or activity awards
This is very
that
cool.
you get on the watch. So I thought this was a really cool idea, just to kind of congratulate people that you may know. Not overly expensive, anywhere between I think like $8 and $12 a pin, depending on the complexity, colors, etc. But pretty nice way. I wish Apple would do this. I'm hoping they don't get shut down. They're pretty straightforward that they're a third party. But I thought it was a nice way to kind of display those workouts and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
People have
actually
earned it.
really cool. Really neat.
Podnar, what is your awesome thing of the week?
Well, my awesome
The week
Year.
year. The week year. Yes.
Yeah, of the week here. Yes, it is. Or let me fix this here because it'll blow out the camera. It's my iPhone 13 Pro
Woo.
Max. So, my old phone was a 10, and it was still doing good. It was old though, and the battery was starting to just kind of get petered out on it.
Yep, same here.
And one time when I was doing yard work with the phone, of course, listening to podcasts, I got some dirt in the charger, and when I took it to the Apple store, and they were great about it. They said, "Yeah, we can't fix this. It got bent." So the best thing you could do, and you're out of warranty because you've had this thing for so long, you can buy a new phone. And this was back in August of this year, and I'm like, well, I know a new phone's going to be announced soon because it's September. It's an Apple event. It's going to be a new phone. I'm not going to put out $500 for a phone now when I want the new one in a month. So the new one here, this thing, first of all, especially with the Max, the Pro Max here, the battery life here is just ridiculous. Where with my old 10, even when it was new, I still had to keep in mind when, I have to plug it in or I have to keep it near a charger. And this thing, I've been using a good amount today. Had it on, listening to things, playing games and all that, pretty much since I got up at 7:00 in the morning type thing, and not near a charger at all, and I'm still like 40% battery life.
Yeah, it's bonkers.
Doing
it's
all day.
Absolutely
This
bonkers.
is crazy. This is crazy.
One thing I love is
sorry.
when I'm traveling. Sorry, just to add on that point. When I'm traveling, my USB charger in the car is not strong enough to charge faster than the drainage of the GPS and the Bluetooth audio. And I lived almost an entire day between 10 and 20% for the 14-hour drive between Myrtle Beach and Chicago on Saturday, and because maybe I didn't plug it in that night, right? So that's like the only time it died was when I went to bed, forgot to plug it in, and realized I was downloading stuff over the hotspot, and it just killed it. So, but anyway, sorry, back to you.
No. That will also just get to kind of go off the battery too, and to go off of running with it and the whole thing. I had a race in early August called the Two-Face Race, which are back-to-back 10Ks. So you're talking just a little bit longer than a half marathon. And the second part is a trail race. So it was slow. And it was with the old phone. So I made sure I kept the phone in. It was charging as much as I could, driving it up there. I took my case. I bought a charging case. So I got done with the one race, got in, charged it because I knew it wouldn't last. Then I charged, and I had to go around with the extra charging case to make sure it wouldn't die on me halfway through in the middle of the North Park. And with this one, it'll be like, I don't even have to think about it. 3-4 hours without near a battery while I'm constantly doing stuff and maybe streaming, and no problem at all. No problem. The other thing that blows my mind about this is night photography.
Oh, geez, ridiculous.
It is absolutely crazy. Now, the one guy, now, like I said, I'm in Penn Hill, so I do have a good amount of light pollution. So I have to do a good amount of editing to get rid of the light pollution. But some of the photos, and I mean, we're talking the built-in. I know Samsung also does a great job. I don't want to be one of those people like Apple's so great and everyone else sucks. The newest Samsung does a great job. I've seen like the new Google phones do a great job. But literally, I set it up with the built-in app, do night mode, slide it over to 30 seconds, put it upside down on the chair, let it go. And I mean, the fact that I took a shot and I was like, wait a minute, that right there, that's not a blur. And I was able, that's the Pleiades cluster. And you can see the 6 different stars as you're taking a picture.
Insane.
I'm like, that's the Pleiades. Yeah, that's Orion's belt. And that's oh, wow. Yeah, I can do that off of a phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's been so, as you know, like between all the wrestling and things like that, and a lot of night stuff that we do, in our productions, it's like, I try to get team photos and things like that, and this and that and the other thing. Let me show you a really quick one, Potter. We had a bunch of wrestlers in here last Tuesday for the Wrestling Mayhem show, and they wanted to do kind of an album cover in the street kind of picture. I don't think this has been out yet. So this is kind of debuting here, probably a little bit on this show. But this is out in front of the studio about 11:30 at night. So with street lights, crappy city street lights, and this looks freaking amazing. No adjustments. I didn't put it in a special mode. This is just out of the box what it did, and it just looks absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and it's the fact that, and I'll say this is the semi-negative is that you can tell Apple's doing a lot more computational, because before you would take a photo and in instant you could see it.
Right.
Now it's take a photo and there's a heartbeat before it kind of, auto adjusts the lightness and sharpens it, but you can tell it's doing the back, the computation on device. Because it's like, okay, here's the shot, and this is the finished shot.
I would love,
especially with night mode, and it's like it is truly amazing what it can do.
I would love to throw on an activity monitor and watch what the CPU does during a shot, and video as well. Just see like how much of that CPU it's using, how much does it spike. I think that would be very interesting to look at. So so awesome. I think that is everybody's awesome thing of the year. I don't think I have missed any. I'll double check here on the break here. But in the meantime, I want to give a shout out to our good friends. Awesome thing of the year, awesome pizza of the year, awesome pizza of the last 10 years, by the way. Our good friends over at Slice on Broadway. Check them out. They're back. There you go. Hey, I cued that wrong. You want the entire graphic and no sound? That's what we got right now. New York City style yins are made. SliceOnBroadway.com, Beachview, Carnegie, East End, the North Hills. Right up the road here. The train's going there right now. I just saw them go by. They're getting their pizza. So thank you to our friends at Slice that have been supporting us for a good long time here with the podcast. We really do appreciate it. Please go check them out. Slice on Broadway, all 4 locations in the Pittsburgh area. They're on Grubhub if you're not in a direct delivery area. I know I get the messages from the Mayhemers and the AwesomeCasters and the Sorgatron media crew that whenever they get their Slice on Broadway, wherever they are in town, or in the greater Pittsburgh area. Thank you to them for supporting us. So before we get into predictions real quick, I want to get into last year's predictions, and let's just check everybody's work, shall we? Let's see what we got here. First of all, as I wait for this to load up here, I'm waiting for it to load up here because it definitely did not load from the other computer. Oh, that's really embarrassing. So we're going to take a moment with that and try to load those up. But in the meantime, this is embarrassing. I know I did this. On the other computer. Give me 1 second, guys. Chilla, why don't we start with your prediction before we get into what you did last year, shall we?
And it's funny because I can't remember what I said last year.
We'll get to that. We will get to that.
It's probably like most years. So I think next year is going to be, I feel like there's been a lot of focus on like laptop hardware and screen hardware. I think also there's been a lot of shortages across multiple industries.
Mm-hmm.
I think next year is going to be the year more towards peripherals. I've been reading a lot of articles on a lot of, tech startups that entered kind of the webcam market or the microphone market or just the various, what I would consider more streaming peripherals, but what probably corporate America considers more video conferencing peripherals. I still don't think a lot of companies have gotten it right. I think there's still a lot of work to do. And I don't think this year is going to be any different from kind of like either work at home or hybrid work. I know Google has said 3 days in the office, 2 days at home. They don't care which. And that's when they get back. Apple has said kind of the same thing, but then they're giving an additional 30 or 60. I think you get an additional 30 days of work from wherever you want time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for that reason, and I also think that at least in most of the mainstream laptops, we haven't seen a lot of good webcam tech. And to me, not just saying Apple hasn't done anything. Like have other devices where the camera, obviously they want to keep it thin and light. I just don't think they're making the tech changes necessary to accommodate. So I think we're going to see a lot of changes in that industry, and I'm hopeful that we'll also even see, it seems like Logitech's one of the only like webcam manufacturers. I think we're going to see some diversity beyond just the gaming spaces too. So hope to see that too, because I'm very interested in the tech itself. But just reading like a lot of, and it's not even the Indiegogos or those types of things. It's the venture capitalist startup investors that are investing in these types of companies. So looking forward to it.
Well, let's compare that with what you did last year, Chilla. Last year, you said you thought you'd see streaming knowledge and virtual collaboration become a key skill expectation for the office workforce as we never return above 50% back to work. Okay? Side bet. The cyber warfare will become headline news multiple times due to reliance on cloud and tech. How you feel about that?
I'll let you guys vote on that one.
I don't know. I think you got kind of close on the first part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We still haven't returned, really.
Yeah,
no. You haven't for sure. So,
yeah.
And I know some industries have. So I know Podnar, you're dealing with that configuration and debate now. And a lot of people are, and some people are just like, hey, we're back or whatever. So let me go real quick around the 2021 predictions before we get to the rest of for the next year. Katie, you predicted a new crop of specialized social media platforms that will pop up, forcing marketing folks to constantly create new accounts on each of these platforms. How many new accounts did you create this year?
Oh gosh, I know there was a couple that Clash came about. Now I'm looking at my thing. I think there was Yik Yak came back.
That's right. Okay.
Shoot. Well, I don't. Ooh. See, I don't know if I don't know if it's created, but I think Discord finally became like a mainstream thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So there was. That's a handful of things that we were all scouring to cover.
Yeah, as people were going away. I mean, for us, like we have Discords for both of our major podcasts now because, like, literally people are leaving Facebook and we need an alternative, right, to keep communicating with people. So I really kind of fit in there. So, well, while we're on you, why don't we just pair that with your predictions for the next year? Because I think they're somewhat related, aren't they?
Yep. I went with I stuck in my wheelhouse. I went with social media.
Absolutely.
And so here's like three things that I think might happen in 2022. TikTok is going to continue to dominate because they are the ones that are compensating their creators, which is not really happening on any other space. Also, you're seeing a lot more TikTok ads and very, very sneaky ads, I may add. They're getting sneakier each time. It's a little bit harder to tell when it's an ad because they're using these creators. Hopefully they're being compensated. Also, it's not just for young folks. Like I think most of, the beginning of TikTok was just young folks, and now it's all ages on there, including Sorg. And
Thanks.
Hey, I'm 53 and I'm on TikTok every day, so I don't post anything, but I'm watching. So.
So like the consumption of it is just amazing, and the algorithm is so good. Like I don't think any other social media platforms algorithm touches TikTok right now, but I think that'll continue to. I think they're just going to continue through 2022, just steamrolling. That's number one. I think maybe 2022 might be the year that they get social audio correct, because we tried Clubhouse, tried Spaces, not exactly working the way we wanted to. So this year might be the year where they put everything together and figure it out, and they just probably will call it podcast.
I got to tell you though, pro wrestling has figured out Spaces. Like the wrestlers, are on a lot, like astonishingly a lot. Your friend of mine, RJ City, He does a video stream of making coffee in his underwear talk show, and it's okay, he's Canadian. It popped up on my Spaces, and so I mean it's just him talking, so it makes sense to just put the Spaces on while he's going to YouTube or whatever, right? And it was funny because he actually had problems with the stream on YouTube and just like, hey, in Spaces, you're here for the behind the scenes as I restart the stream, So it was kind of nice for that. Like, we don't do it because all you guys are remote. If everybody was in the studio, I would just kind of throw the phone on the table and we'd be on Spaces, right? Just as a, let's see what happens, right? So, I think it's getting there. It's definitely getting there's at least awareness now, but of course Twitter's putting it in front of everybody's face now, right?
Yeah. So maybe Spaces will be the one that figures it all out, and they win. Last one is we're going to continue to see a decrease in organic reach, especially with Facebook. Every small business is going to want the reach, and they're not going to want to pay for it because they got it for free before, but that's not going to be the case, especially as time moves on. It's going to be a pay to play.
But we knew this was coming. This is the plan, right? So.
Put you in, now you gotta pay.
Yep. Excellent. Let's see. Going down the line here, let me disclose mine real quick because I think Krause, it's going to play into yours a little bit. Actually, let's go ahead and pair that up. I bet on streaming video games. I think I worded this wrong. From before going, I think I said streaming video games would go mainstream, and I think it did because now it's on my Xbox. You can stream directly from that.
Agree. Yeah.
I think that was the tipping point of, I don't need to like be on a browser and make sure everything works. I'm on the Xbox, so it will work. And it's like, how many people have an Xbox on a hardline, which means it will work without like the sketchiness of doing it on my computer and things like that. Like, I think it's there. I think it's absolutely there. I do it on the Xbox and I do it on my work computer here when I have some downtime. I was playing the Serious Sam 4 that popped up last week. Still haven't gotten a chance to get to the campaign of Halo, but I mean, Krause, I think that plays into your prediction as well for 2022, right?
Well, just real quick for your comment of Halo, it's killing me because the multiplayer is so good.
Yeah.
I don't have time to play the campaign.
Oh no!
It's killing me because I want to play the story. I want to live that, get through that part of the game.
Yeah.
But I'm just so consumed by the multiplayer. It's so much fun. But I believe Microsoft and Xbox are going to have a big year. I think the Game Pass, what they're providing with Game Pass, what they're doing with the cloud gaming, I just think it's going to be. I think 2022 is going to be a big year for them.
Absolutely.
Do you think it'll hurt game sales? Because that's the one thing I've heard a lot of family and friends say, I don't buy games anymore. I just play from the, Game Pass library or the free games that I've already accumulated from my passes, whether it be PlayStation or Xbox.
I think it might hurt game sales a little, but it's a consistent revenue stream, and I'm sure. But I don't know how the deal works. I don't know how anybody makes money. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, but there's somebody's making. Everybody's got to be making some money somehow.
Krause,
I don't know.
Krause, I got you on this. I got you. Have you noticed what kind of games usually pop up on your Game Pass lately, other than like the first party ones? Avengers, microtransactions.
Oh, right.
Right? There's a lot of microtransaction games popping up. I just noticed Mortal Kombat 11 just popped up on Game Pass. Of course, 2 weeks after I bought it on Black Friday. But again, something that has like you're gonna play for free Mortal Kombat 11, but don't you want to be Rambo and the Terminator in this game? By the way, holy crap, Rambo and the Terminator in this game, and it's Stallone and Schwarzenegger. So, like, and RoboCop.
Oh, and by the way, too, like, okay, for example, Halo. Okay, Halo, technically, the multiplayer is free to play. So I'm paying for a Game Pass for subscription, playing
the free-to-play.
You know what I mean? So they're getting all kind of money for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally, the only game I'm playing right now is the Halo multiplayer.
Yep. Although it does
No,
get
so you gotta
it
look at it
does
from that point
it
of view,
does get the
too.
Game Pass label when you load it up though. So if your Game
Right.
Pass, you're like, oh, got this, but you don't realize like, Joe
Oh,
Schmo
by
down
the
the
way,
street has it
speaking
too.
of Game Pass, there is a perk this month to get some in-game stuff for Halo if you're a
Nice.
Game Pass subscriber. So
That's what makes the difference. It's just like Gears of War, right? Gears of War. Last year there was the pass where like a few of the WWE wrestlers, the New Day, were a part of it as some skins for multiplayer, and
Yeah.
it was included. I didn't have to buy it, which I'm like, okay, guess I'm playing some more Gears of War, So and you get
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff, and I think you get the upgrade on X for the Dave Bautista skin for the main character and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy. It's crazy. Did you have anything else here for predictions before we move on? I think you just had that one.
no,
right?
that was the only
Okay.
one I had.
No problem. All right. I think I think I got everything that has pumpkin time. And I got your predictions from last year. Now let's see the people that can't defend themselves. Cynthia Klosky from Shift Collaborative thinks that Facebook will double down on everything, no regrets. I think she's spot on with this one, right?
Yep.
On top of metaverse and everything, right, Katie?
Oh yeah, 100%. She's 1,000% correct.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And then Rob De La Creta. Damn, I should have invited him back. I apologize. Rob got back into drumming. No, wait, that's his awesome thing from last year. Oh, he sees a future of electric car modification and retrofits will become more mainstream. I don't think we got there yet, but I think we're still working on a lot of just the general mainstreamification of the electric car, right? So, so my prediction is, wait, I didn't get my awesome thing of the year, did I? my awesome thing of the year was, as we roll back a little bit here, I think companies are going to be more mindful of the in-person and virtual presentations. I'm seeing this with projects I've been working on. Between educational conferences, there was a veteran farmers conference we did very early in the year where it was like we had 10 people in a room and everybody else was on Zoom, and how do we mesh those together? I'm talking with a certain live event show about like, okay, we're presenting this for pay-per-view, but we have the live people, and how do we make sure everybody's happy, and how do you bring that together on things? So I think companies are thinking about that more. At least one company we're talking about, well, actually a couple companies we've kind of talked about improving their whole webinar situation to better that quality. I don't think people are as accepting anymore on the, and I will be honest, I'll be brutal, crappy WebEx phone call and a slideshow, and good luck learning something from this boring ass presentation thing. That is changing. The people are being more mindful of quality because now we all live on this stuff, and if you have to live every day on a conference call piece of crap audio experience, that's going to hurt productivity, morale, you name it. I'm seeing some work at homers nodding their heads in the Zoom right now. So, and actually, I'm just gonna. It's an awesome thing, and it's also my prediction that there's going to be even more focus on that. I'm really curious because I'm listening to people doing live events, and they're talking about hybrid is. I think Alex Lindsay said hybrid is dead, but the companies haven't figured it out yet. I'm not all in on that. I think there's something that I think there's a lot that can be done to marry that experience and make it better. I don't think it's always going to be 100% right. And something gets lost in translation. I know I have the problem when it's always like, do I need it? Everybody can hear me in here. I don't need this microphone, right? I was like, no, we're live. There's people in Canada watching you right now. You need a microphone. Like literal things that I've experienced in the year, right? It actually for several years. But now it's more like, no, people couldn't get here because the world. You need a microphone, those kinds of things. How do you marry that presentation? How do you make sure the remote people are just as involved as the people in person? I can't tell you how many platforms I've been on that are trying to solve this problem. Some of them with one company. So it's an ever evolving thing. I don't know if there's going to be a breakthrough on that this year, but I think there's going to be strides. I think it's going to continue to grow. That industry is going to continue to grow. I'm really curious if CES is even happening in person. at this rate. So last I knew, it was still happening in Vegas. So the Petri dish is back. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm astonished pro wrestling hasn't slowed down, to be quite honest. Where we're at right now. So there are 550 people in the room in a convention center in Chicago on Sunday. I don't even know how many people were in the sports complex in Myrtle Beach on Friday when we did the MMA. Protocols are different wherever you are, and it's really interesting that that's just happening. So, but that's where I'm at with that. So, did I miss anything? Did I miss anybody? Did we get all the predictions out of the way? Did we miss anybody? Podnar, did I get you? Yes.
No, you haven't made it down to me yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, but I don't have pumpkin time, so I didn't want to.
That's right. No, that's fine. That's right. You didn't have one. We didn't have you from last year in here, so that's why I didn't come around to you yet.
Right.
Okay. All right. What do you got? What do you got for 2022?
Okay, so I got 4 of them that I could think of. For automobiles, non-Tesla electric cars will become more common. Right now, if you see an electric car, it's either a Nissan Leaf or a Tesla, pretty much, unless you see like a BMW, which there's not that many around, for quote unquote average electric cars. There you got pretty much those two. With the Ford Maverick, I'm ignoring the Ford F-150 Lightning because they've already sold out for 3 years of production.
Also,
so we know it's popular.
Insanely specialized vehicle as well, right? Built for a specific task.
Exactly. But something like, even though the Maverick is a hybrid, it's a little hybrid truck that is incredibly popular because it's a little truck that gets good gas mileage for people who just need a truck. It doesn't need a truck.
What was that model again?
The Maverick. Yes, it's the same model. They reused the model from the mid-1970s car.
Okay.
The same name, but it's a little pickup truck. That's a hybrid. But with Hyundai coming out, Kia coming out with their electric vehicles, and the thing that shocked me was the average overall vehicle. Not forget about hybrid, forget about electric, just the overall cost to buy a new vehicle this year is over $40,000, which shocks me.
Wow.
Mainly because I don't look at those cars, but and that's because not a lot of people are buying sedans anymore. Sedans are the cheapest thing. The SUVs are expensive. The pickup trucks are really expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So the average price is around $41,000. The fact that they announced just earlier this week, Kia and Hyundai came out with it's an all electric. It's not a hybrid, it's an electric. They're the Ioniq 5 and the EV6 for Kia, their first ones. They're starting at 40, and they're not strip models where like the Hyundai Kona was their cheaper, affordable. I know it's in my mind saying a car's in the mid to upper 30s is cheaper, still blows my mind, but that's that's the affordable side versus the mid 40s to upper 50s. But they're coming out with versions which are closer, which is like the price of the vehicle is not going to scare people off as much as it used to. So you're going to start seeing people say, well, my workplace actually has a charger for employees. So I could drive to work. If I had an electric car, I could drive to work, plug it in all day while I'm at work because it's not doing anything else, and recharge myself. And then I'm good for the drive home. And if I wanted to, then I would do like the home charger or trickle charger, just to keep myself topped up. And I would have, and eventually people are going to find out that electric vehicles upkeep is cheaper because there's nothing really to break in there. There's not a real transmission. There's not a motor, obviously. You have a whole lot less complexity, so a lot less to actually work on and fix and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to start seeing electric cars becoming more common. Like I said, not non-Teslas, but a lot more common.
Absolutely. Hey, we're at pumpkin time for a couple of our people here. First, Chilla, I want to give a shout at Chilla on the tweets.
Josh Chill on the Facebooks. Thanks for having me. I guess I will be touching base next year.
There you go. And Dutters, you got to roll out too at K Dutters on the tweets.
Yes. happy holidays, happy New Year, and all that good stuff.
And then
oh,
you'll
maybe you hear my voice soon.
Yes. Oh, we'll reveal real quick before they leave. We got 2 specials coming for AwesomeCast. One is going to be WordPress versus Squarespace. We had Amanda Narcissi of Bold Pittsburgh, which is now that relaunched by now, right? I can't remember the name. Help me out. It's in our Slack. Steal something. Help me out. Okay, we'll get that tagged.
I'm drawing an absolute.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We'll don't worry. We'll be plugging a lot of it. And
Steal Awesome. She's Steal Awesome. I'm
Steal
just making
Awesome.
that up.
Sure.
I'm sorry.
And Doug Dirt of Yinsborough Barbecue. And the other one is Katie. You and Mad Mike from the Wrestling Mayhem Show both recently visited Disney, and therefore we had a very special Disney kind of awesomeness of Disney special with that. So go check that out. That'll be in the next 2 weeks on the feed. Thank you, Katie and Chilla, for joining us.
Thank you.
And now we'll talk about whatever Dutters was talking with Riz about in the Twitch chat room, because apparently he's in there and has a couple of things. Bodder, I'm sorry. It sounded like you were about to say something else.
Yeah. No. I understand. Like I said, pumpkin time.
Pumpkin
so I understand
time.
completely.
So.
Yep. Okay. A couple other things. I'll try to go through them kind of quickly.
Sure.
One. It's technology related. It's not awesome, but it's going to hit us. Twitter and Facebook will still be cesspools, especially as we get especially as we hit the midterm elections.
Yes, and there will be new cesspools for the people that that are too extreme for those platforms.
Awesome cesspools.
Yes.
Awesome cesspools. I was like, no, cool.
Yeah.
Go over there so the FBI can keep an eye on you, and that's how it works. It was like,
no, yeah.
It's if you think you're okay saying your bullshit on a platform that the FBI may be interested in, guess who's also on that platform? So I believe this is like. Anyways, yes. I'm sorry. Did you have a second thing on that? Yes.
Yeah. And of course, the irony of, without mentioning anything, those platforms saying how wonderful they are for free speech, but you have to agree not to make derogatory comments about the platform on the platform.
Okay.
Hey, Dave, I got a question.
Yeah.
Back to the electric cars, and I hate to drag us back around, but what do you do for people? Okay, for example, Chilla, Dormont, me, Stowe Township, on-street parking. How do we solve that problem for electric cars?
That is the next step we're going to have to solve.
Extension cars.
Seriously, this is, believe it or not, now this was years ago when I lived in Sheridan. Not only did I have on-street parking, but I didn't have an exterior plug for the house. It was a house built in 1920, so who would run electricity outside the house?
Right, exactly. The house probably didn't have electricity when it was built, you know?
It had electricity, but it did have a coal furnace.
Okay.
They had to update in the 50s for that. But so I had a chance to actually have an overnight test drive with the original Volt, the original Chevy Volt to plug in. And I basically ran a cord just like I did out the window, put it down out to the front street. Just like I ran the Christmas lights. Because our Christmas lights, like where I live now, we have a garage, so I can run through the garage door, but we didn't have a garage. So you ran it out, you put it through there, you put the window down, and so that's what I had to do. But yeah, that will be being worked on. And honestly, that is kind of going to go with the whole Facebook and Twitter being a cesspool, because one thing they're trying to put into the infrastructure part 2 bill, not the one that passed, but the next step they want to do will be federal investment into charging stations.
Yes. Is this the thing Kamala Harris was talking about today?
Right.
Okay.
Right. And they want to make it where, because what people forget was it wasn't out of the goodness of oil companies' hearts that they built all these gas stations everywhere so it's easy to get to. They got a lot of help from the government at the time. And people just forget that because people have no idea about history.
It's been a while since an initiative like that ever was instituted. You know,
right?
Like it just hasn't.
We're talking,
30, 40, 50 years.
in my mind, the last initiative that really pushed infrastructure like that, basic infrastructure, where people were like, well, that doesn't make any sense because people can live without it. That's not real infrastructure,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And what was pretty much back in the 60s.
Yep.
So we're talking 50 plus
Before
years.
most of us were around.
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I think one of the places people are sleeping on is like, why don't places like Eaton Park, Kings, put some of these chargers in their parking
Yes.
lot?
I've seen a couple.
Because let's
You're
be
seeing it.
honest,
You're
this
seeing it.
isn't like a fuel fill up where
Yeah.
15 minutes and you're rolling.
Yeah.
You know, you're spending a half hour, 45 minutes, you know, to charge up those batteries. Heck, go in, eat a meal, charge your car.
Actually, Krause, like in certain cities, like this is happening.
Yeah.
This is happening at scale. Like
Okay.
I've definitely, like, if you go certain places, like it's starting to happen here, where you're seeing it like Sheets in certain neighborhoods. I'm seeing them. I saw there's Sheets has like the Tesla superchargers up in like Hermitage, up in Mercer County.
Now the Sheets
right?
to me doesn't make as much sense. Although I guess they do now. They
Listen,
do have dining, quote unquote.
The
now.
MTO, the MTO stuff.
MTO,
Yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
That's a safe place.
I was
to
thinking
MTO.
more of the whole sit-down restaurant vibe.
I
But
spent some time.
you know, that
I've
could
spent some
work.
time.
You know,
I've spent an hour in a Sheets before. Come on. Hey, I want to get to.
well, also you got to remember one thing too, that the newer cars are just like with cell phones are having the fast charging cell phones.
Mhm.
The newer cars, the newer versions are having fast charging.
So you don't need as much
So,
time.
Yeah, you won't charge 0 to 100, but
Mhm.
you'll charge 10 to 70%
Mhm.
okay.
within 20 minutes or 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So you can do that in I need to stop at Sheets. I'll go get a coffee. I'll use the facilities. Oh, and I'll get an MTO thing.
Yeah,
It'll take
and-
me 10, 15 minutes.
And
so.
you'll get another
Yeah.
like 100 miles on your car of range, right? Or
Right.
something like that. So that's it. So I mean, there will be growing pains, but it'll be what it is. And all these conversations about infrastructure and such, that's going to be part of these things rolling out. So hey, real quick, Riz has been just just going back and forth with Dutters in the chat room over on our Twitch page for Sorgatron Media. His prediction is there will be a new Twitch-like streaming service that will not be Facebook. Okay. All right. Not just built into everything else. He did have some comments on the stuff earlier about there's discless consoles now. And, I mean, Krause, you have one. Game sales have always been there for big names like, you know, Madden, FIFA, GTA, Red Dead, you know, etc. Also, remember, a lot of those still have microtransactions too. So, I mean, that's why GTA 5 has been around for like 10 years and 2 consoles, 2 console cycles at least. Awesome thing of the year, he says that every time every time I was Dutters, when he was on here, Xbox fridge. Awesome thing of the year is Xbox fridge. Also, apparently, because I it's a thing, the podcast that identifies trends, anecdotal trends in life, says the 6-can mini fridge is a thing right now that a lot of people are getting, probably because of work from home. Yeah, so there you go. Guys, thank you so much. It's been an awesome year, and I think we all got each other through all the lockdowns and everything, and I'm very excited. I'm hoping to see more of you guys in studio here. I did not. Oh, wait. Let's check in. I did put a dog cam up, and it looks like he is sacked out. So we have bored the crap out of Wicket. He is sacked out over there. Look at him.
Wow.
Hey, Wicket. Hey, buddy. Hey, wake up.
Yeah, he's out for the count.
Wow, he
Sorg.
is out.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Oh, he's like, oh, hey, is somebody talking to me? You going to give me a pizza crust now? Oh, anyways. Thank you, everybody, for joining us again. We got some big things. We got some big plans here at Sorgatron Media, but be sure to check out our crew with the dog, with the cat. You got the cat in the chair. Prof Bot on the Twitter, Dave Podnar, iPhoneography Podcast.
Thanks so much, Sorg. Thanks for having me on.
Speaking of cats, I cannot wait for you to see this 12 Days of Mayhem coming up next show tonight. But anyways, Ron Krause, Crazy Krause with the K's on the Twitter and all the other social medias.
Yes, sir. Thanks for a great year.
Awesome.
Be happy to come back anytime.
Looking forward to it. Again, stay tuned the next couple weeks for those specials so you would not be without the awesome. And we'll be premiering them at the same time and then live back in the new year at 7 p.m. Eastern time every Tuesday for the AwesomeCast on all the social media platforms so we can fit the show that will allow us to. However you like to view, and we're going to get even better at this chat room situation as well across all of the things. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. You have been our awesome audience. Please have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.